Hey guys, what's up? Well, it's kind of weird to be doing this today, especially in English. And also, I'm scared. I'm like, oh my god, everybody's gonna see me or hear me, or I don't know. Like fear in my head. So, you know, like coming here. But also, I smoke, so I smoke a little bit of pot, so of course, it sometimes doesn't help with paranoia. Anyway, I just wanted to be talking about like chosen ones and shit like that. Sorry, because I'm French, and I'm an atheist basically, so it's kind of like difficult to talk about spirit and things like that. But at the same time, well, we have to name something. So, oh god, I feel like it's such a bad idea. I just don't know. I feel like I don't know. And also, people are gonna come. I'm crazy. I'm crazy, motherfucker. So no. Anyway, it's just like lately, I've been. I've been by myself and shit, coming back from Mauritania because I left after the vaccine, the vaccination. I didn't want to do it. It was like the final, a final thing in my head that made me get out of the matrix. And now I have to. Well, that's. I have to just be quiet, just because I've. Oh, nice bird. Sorry, I can't show you. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's funny how the brain just works against yourself. Like I was like, I'm not gonna do that. Or also I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna be talking about this, that. I'm gonna be so cool. I'm gonna be so great, and everything. I'm gonna talk to these guys, and now I'm like completely freaking out. So because I don't know. And also, like, I wanted to do it in English because I think, oh my god, this way I won't be recognizable, or people seeing me will be from elsewhere. Like, I'm scared of people next to me, I don't know. So maybe it means that I'm not completely myself with them. Also, I don't know. I don't know. Because, like, that's when I realized how lost I am. And also, I'm seeing my face and I don't like it. Because I feel like shit. Putain. Ouais, je pensais que it's crazy because I think like it's so when you see other people do it, you feel like you can do it and shit and come and talk about whatever. But I don't know. I feel more like I have to keep to myself. Wow. So yeah, talking about chosen ones and shit. It's more like well, it helps us, like to not to become crazy in this world, and also to keep on sticking to our dream. Because we are subtle beings. So yeah, maybe I should quit smoking. No, but like maybe it's the first. I don't know. It's like like all the weapons are coming in one time. I want, and no, I just need to learn to love myself more. And even like I'm looking at me now, I just have to like what I see, and that's it, and stop fucking bullshit, about how do I look. Oh, I don't like myself. I got that from my mom actually. She didn't. She ate, and her mom was the same. Like she wouldn't be taking pictures of and shit like that. So because maybe she grew old, she didn't want to be like seeing herself, or I don't know, like thinking about that. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so and at the same time, I got the opposite with my mom because she'd be like that, but she'd be like telling us how beautiful we were and shit like that. So you just so you get a bit superficial in some ways, even though it was like I like we all have our contradictions. Like I don't know, like my mom would be a punk at heart, but then she'd ask for like the TV interviewer that was fashionable at the time, and yeah, and also like it's funny because it's not to be willing to see yourself is image talking, but it means also must mean also a lot about like psychological behaviors, So yeah. So anyway, I'm not so bad. I'm actually like I'm getting better and better. Is like I've been doing. Normally I'm an actor and shit, but I stopped, because I did also. I left after the vaccine. I just decided, like because they jailed us first, like they locked down us and shit. So I'd be like, like for me when they said, oh, you can go to bars, you can go to cinemas, I was just like, all right, I just go. And also, like the actors, like you would get paid, they would give you like an extra year at the time. So it was like, so I had everybody would be crying because they had to go and vaccinate. I didn't have this. I wasn't in that position, so I just decided I'd leave. And I ended up in a trip to Africa where I lived like 2 years, and then I got to come back because the guy that was renting from me wasn't paying and shit. So anyway, there was like something unbalanced. So now I'm back here in France, so it's kind of difficult too because I just landed like that, and not knowing that I wouldn't go back, I would stay back in the Matrix. Well, anyway, that's my story, and I'm now working in the industry of sex. So I'm coming from like a Muslim country, very strict and shit. But I had friends there that were cool. And people asked me like, "Did you have sex there?" And shit. No, I did not, because I was like processing inside myself. And it was actually good, but it doesn't mean that it's not a problem there. So, but that also kept me out of this game, like this dangerous game too. Yeah, we're getting to the question of sexuality and shit, like, because I'm gay. I don't know, I hope this won't be used as a meme. Because I'm gay. Yeah, also that, like, it's funny because I used to be like, when I was younger, I'd be like so loud and shit. And now it's become more. It's like if my shame's coming back, but afterwards, like I didn't. I don't know. Like now I'm talking about it. I'm already feeling better. It's just about naming again things, coming out and testifying and getting to tell the word too. That's what artists do. People that are helping also, because I'm doing this show. Because like I've been following some guys, and like on my journey, when I was in Mauritania, in Morocco, in Spain, I would listen. That's when I started following. I was in Mauritania. I started listening to this girl. She'd be like, with cars and shit, and she'd speak like what I was going through was exactly what she was talking about. And so from then, and actually it's the way it happened with the algorithm that are going faster, and you get all those people that are now expressing themselves. I mean, everybody can express himself too now. So also this I got in Africa, where many young kids that are performing are connected. So there is something happening. I'm like the prophet. And well, actually, that's cool because I thought I wouldn't get so much, like out of 20 minutes, and I'm realizing it's been 10 minutes, and it's like, well, it's not something you just do. Like, it's my way of behaving too. I'm like, I want things to get done, but I don't like the process or something like that. Where, like this is childish thing. So anyway, yeah, talking about my relationship to my mom. No, I don't, so yeah, no, I got back here, and when I was in Mauritania, I thought, in a way, at some point, I got to the point where, like France and my childhood and shit was something that I dreamt of. That maybe I would never come back because, I did it. I walked, and I took the plane too, but it was like it's 4,000 kilometers away from home, just underneath the desert, sub-Saharan, and it's like sometimes it feels like you won't be able to make it because it's I don't know. It was in my imagination too. And I actually got back from Darla with a plane that was 77 euros, 4 hours, so not so bad. Hey, yeah, talking about like Mauritania and shit. So now I know, like, I have a like more of a goal, because before I'd be like living in Paris, trying to be a comedian, being like, I don't know, having so many bad behaviors too. I don't know, being a different me that I'm still like getting rid of in a way. And now that I named it, but like I come, my family, you won't, like, I got my mom lately on the phone, and she'd be like, she would, even though I went through like these big trips, 3 years lived in, and also I did many things. I traveled. I lived in England when I was 18. And that's, I did lots of things, and I did live my life very, very quickly, like, from 17 on, and I took care of myself. But at the end, when I was like uh, being being an actor, like an intermittent du spectacle, like it's the French status. You kind of become like those guys who are 9 to 5. Like, you still have your time and shit, but you're stuck to that. You want your hour. You're counting your hours, and you're always searching for work, and like you standardize yourself. You conformize yourself. I mean, I did lots of, and also, well, that was the way that to be too. Like, I was coming from the countryside, young boy, a bit silly too. Like, I remember I'd go to the Queen's Club, in the early 90s. I was like 16, and I was not well dressed and shit, but like, I was gay and young, so I would get in and drink water in the toilets. Well, anyway, I don't know how I got here. So no, yeah, talking about my mom, like, she'd be like, well, first she expressed something that's interesting, because she told me about that one time she left me with my grandma, and when she got back, I wouldn't recognize her, so she was jealous, and I was interesting too. I was like, oh my god, I hope my grandma didn't give me a nipple or something, like, because like lacking of child or something like that. I don't know, like in all the in all the TV shows you watch, there would be something like that. So hopefully not. But it was interesting that my mom, and no, so anyway, it was funny because she'd be like, we haven't seen my mom for Christmas for like long time, and so I'm like, and last time we actually got nearly close to having everyone. We didn't. It was my fault in a way, because it was my sister, and I just wanted to have like the three boys, and I don't know, well, and anyway, she wasn't available at the time, but I didn't really talk to her, so that's where I think she doesn't like me. This is my confession. I hope she watch in English. So yeah, I'm a bad person. Yeah, I didn't want to go there, but I'm such a motherfucking bastard. but don't tell anyone, please. I'm hiding. I'm hiding. That's why I'm doing this. So anyway, I don't know if I have the strength to do it in French. Actually, it's more. It's true that in English, I feel different. So anyway, so I got my mom, and I don't know where we. Yeah, no, it's about my brother because my brother he don't speak to me. He don't speak, and if I call him, he's gonna be hanging out very quickly, without even trying. So anyway, we were talking about that, and she got like, "Yeah, what do you think? Don't you think I'd like to have everybody for Christmas?" And so, but anyway, it's her way, like to say that she to justify it. You get it. You get me on this one. So anyway, it's her way to justify, and also she's like, talking about the. It's my fault of talking about the past, but she kept me in the past. Like she's talking to me about her like of the baby she had, but it's not me she's talking about. So, but anyway, I'm not this baby anymore too. But I mean, I'm supposed to be that person. So she dissociation. So yeah, I think yeah, no, it's true that it's more difficult. Like in France, we are like more Cartesians and shit. So like we are less like going into Marvel and all these, we are down to earth in a way. More about sexual shit. We're more obsessed with that. So anyway, well, I don't know how I could name this video, but that would be my first start on YouTube. If you liked it or didn't like it, don't hesitate to like it on that. Press the like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to subscribe. I already said it. No, anyway, that was cool. It was my first. Thank you guys. See you.